In the summer of 2026, Norway did something it had never done before. It reached a World Cup quarter-final. It beat Brazil. It walked onto a stage it had been absent from for 28 years, and it did not quietly exit. We covered the aftermath. The delayed flight out of Miami. 100,000 people watching a plane cross the Atlantic on flight radar. 2 F-35 fighter jets escorting it through Norwegian airspace. The Royal Palace. King Harold shaking hands with Julian Ryerson while he was still in flip-flops. 88,000 people rowing at the Royal Palace. An open-top bus crawling down Karl Johan Street. 2 players missing from it. A nation that had waited 28 years, finally with something worth rowing for. But the World Cup ends. So where are the players now? Erling Haaland is still at Manchester City. Pep Guardiola is gone, and Enzo Maresca, arriving from Chelsea, now leads the side. Haaland skipped the preseason tour of Asia entirely. It is load management. He is expected back for the Community Shield. The Premier League opener against Bournemouth arrives on August the 23rd. Martin Ødegaard is still at Arsenal. He missed the opening friendlies after the tournament, but is back in training. His last club season was a quiet one, with shoulder problems, a knee injury, 1 goal, and 6 assists in the league. And yet Arsenal still won the Premier League. The World Cup doubled as a fitness test. Now the challenge is translating that sharpness back into defending a title. Ørjan Nyland is the story that shouldn't exist. He is 35 years old. He entered the World Cup as a free agent, a backup goalkeeper at Sevilla, with his contract expired. Then he delivered a sequence of saves against Côte d'Ivoire and Brazil that carried Norway into the quarterfinal. Almost overnight, he became one of the most pursued free agents in Europe. The destination now appears to be RB Leipzig. From unwanted backup to starting for a Champions League club, compressed into a single month. Jørgen Strand Larsen joined Crystal Palace from Wolves in February, scored twice on his home debut, then won goal of the season with a Conference League semi-final strike. Palace lifted the trophy. He enters this campaign as winner. Andreas Schjelderup is 22. He plays for Benfica. He assisted both of Haaland's goals against Brazil. He scored Norway's opener in the quarterfinal against England. If the name is not yet familiar, it will be. Oscar Bobb left Manchester City in January for Fulham, a transfer worth £27 million, choosing minutes over proximity to greatness. He made his senior World Cup debut as an impact substitute and created one of Norway's best chances against Brazil. Beyond the headline names, Alexander Sorloth is Atletico Madrid's number 9 after 13 La Liga goals. Julian Ryerson, the man who met the king in flip-flops, produced 15 assists in 31 Bundesliga appearances at Dortmund. Antonio Nusa is building steadily at RB Leipzig. Christopher Ayer signed through 2030 at Brentford. In Serie A, 4 Norwegians, Ødegaard, Hegem, Thorstvedt, and Thorsby, returned to their clubs. But the story that best captures what Norwegian football has become doesn't take place at a superclub. 3 current Norway internationals, Patrick Berg, Fredrik Bjorkan, and Jens Petter Hauge, play for Bodø Glimt. It is a town of 50,000 people above the Arctic Circle. Its stadium holds 8,000. Last season, they beat Atletico Madrid, they beat Manchester City, they eliminated Inter Milan in the Champions League knockout playoffs. They are back in it this year. While Haaland and Ødegaard compete for trophies at institutions built to win them, 3 of their World Cup teammates will take another shot at Europe's biggest competition from a town most people couldn't locate on a map. That is Norwegian football in 2026. To understand where they are now, it helps to understand how they arrived. Norway didn't stumble into that quarterfinal. They went unbeaten through qualifying, 37 goals scored, 5 conceded, finishing ahead of Italy, capped by a 4-1 win at the San Siro that sent the 4-time world champions to the playoffs. At the tournament, they were drawn into a group with France, Senegal, and Iraq. They earned a composed win over Côte d'Ivoire. Then came the result that will define this generation, a 2-1 win over Brazil. It was Brazil's earliest World Cup exit since 1990. Norway, in their first tournament in 28 years, were through to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinal against England went to extra time. Schjelderup opened the scoring. Bellingham leveled in stoppage time. A disallowed header. A goalkeeping mistake. It ended in defeat. But the fact that it registered as heartbreak, not inevitability, tells you everything. Haaland finished with 7 goals. Ødegaard captained the side throughout. And names that had been footnotes, Nyland, Schjelderup, Strand Larsen, became part of the national conversation. 28 years of waiting produced a quarter-final. It produced nights that won't fade quickly. But the tournament was never the destination. It was a door. The players who walked through it are now scattered across Europe. The World Cup proved Norway can compete at the highest level. What follows is the longer, harder work of proving it wasn't an exception. Hidden Norway exists because stories like this, the ones that don't fit the postcard, are what this country actually is. The good, the bad, and sometimes the kind of beauty that only shows up after a loss. Norway is out of the World Cup. But the country has more to offer. If you find yourself drawn to Norway, the people, the history, the culture, you have come to the right place. Subscribe and follow along.